Talk with Tyson Bryden. Come on for the ride. We'll take you inside. Non-stop rock talk. It's non-stop rock talk with Tyson Bryden. Come on for the ride. We'll take you inside.
Welcome to Nonstop Rock Talk. This is your host, Tyson Bryden. Today, I am very happy to welcome legendary drummer Carmine Appice. Carmine, it's truly a pleasure. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you. You look like you're in your living room over there, are you?
I am, yeah. Well, I'm in the basement, actually. I'm in my basement living room, so I'm, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's all good.
Yeah, so I'm in Florida and enjoying the heat. And you're probably, you got some heat up there, but you got a lot more cold than heat.
Yeah, right now it's hot. Right now. I mean, it rained this morning, though, so we're, the last couple of days have been on and off rain and thunderstorms, and I mean, I'm sure you being from New York originally, that was you guys kind of had the same weather, right?
Yeah. Down here it's crazy. So you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, you know? I mean, when it rains here, it's unbelievable rain. It goes sideways, you know?
Really? Wow.
And then 10 minutes later, it's beautiful. Last night we had an unbelievable pink and blue sky, you know, pink clouds with blue sky behind it. It was just unbelievable.
That sounds amazing.
You know, I love it down here. You know, it's warm all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you, whereabouts in Florida, roughly?
We're down there like West Palm.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fly out of Donald Trump's airport all the time.
Oh, do you? He has an airport. I didn't realize he had an airport.
Well, PBI, it's Palm Beach Airport. Now they named the Palm Beach Donald Trump Airport because he's that right there. He lives there.
Okay. Wow.
He flies the American, the number one big jet in there all the time. You know.
Wow. I had no idea. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Now, your legacy of work dates back to the 60s. Vanilla Fudge, Cactus, Beck Bogart and Appice, going into the 70s. And then Rod Stewart, Ozzy on the Bark of the Moon tour. Then there was one of my personal favorites, which is King Kobra. Then again, Blue Murder. And then there's more than that.
Ted Nugent.
Yes, I forgot Ted Nugent. Sorry. and I mean, even after Blue Murder, you were still going, and you were working with Jeff Watson and Lynn Turner and lots of stuff.
Edgar Winter.
I
did 3 years with Edgar Winter.
That's crazy.
And then I did my Guitar Zeus project. That was
right.
Great.
Yeah. Wow, man. So, I mean, you've had a long career, a long, great career.
Yeah. And then I went back to Vanilla Fudge.
Right.
I got a Rod show called Rod the Show. You got to check out the website for that. It's awesome. rodtheshow.com.
I'll check that out.
And that's really great. Then we're doing Cactus, which we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's been really good. The latest video's up at almost 300,000 views.
That looks cool.
In a month. And it's a great video. Have you seen the video?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
I'm a cop.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Usually I put my hat, if it's video, I put my hat on, sunglasses, and I look like the cop, you know?
Yeah. That's all. No, that video is really good.
It's amazing. It's all AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except the playing. But it's great. We wanted to make a movie, like a movie.
Yeah.
With a storyline. And the storyline was great, where the ghost wakes up and the ghost of the guy that got killed shows you why he got killed. And the song is Backdoor Man, and that's what the song's about. A backdoor man who does all these nasty things.
And I was going to say, the song actually fits the video. I mean, sometimes you'll get that where a video will actually fit the song,
Well, that's what we made. We made sure that it fit.
Yeah.
My guy, the editor, Dominic Esposito in Long Island, he's awesome. I mean, it looks like a movie. I said to her, hey, I want to be a cop. Next thing I know, I'm a cop. I said, you know what? I want the beginning there like The Warriors, the movie The Warriors.
Yeah.
You got the lips of the black chick talking. and it looks just like it, you know. So he's great. He's awesome. The guy, the pizza guy, you saw the guy, the pizza guy?
Yeah.
He's my guy that plays Rod Stewart on my show.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I got to put my friends in there and all that. You know,
I love that.
It's really, really cool. Yeah, but that was unbelievable. It took a month to do it, because he'd come up with an idea and I said, well, that ain't going to work. Let's try this or do that. And then he said, well, let's try this instead. It was always back and forth until we came up with the whole finished product. When he first came up with the idea, he thought that the ghost would be a witch doctor.
Yeah.
That's why he kind of looked like that. And I said, no, it's not a witch doctor. It's got to be a ghost. When he's walking in the street, he's got to walk through the cars because he's a ghost. So we did that. And then, because when we gave it to Eric Gales and we gave it to Billy Sheehan, and none of us said, well, what's it about? Because it wasn't right. So Eric said, man, I think it's awesome, but I don't understand the story. I said, well, don't feel bad. I don't either. I said, but by the time we're done with it, we'll have a cool story. So, a month later, we got the storyline together.
Yeah.
And it came out fantastic. I mean, there's all my friends in it. Like our producer, Pat Regan, is on doing the bartender, and then he bends down the glass, flies over his head and bangs into the mirror.
Yeah.
I have a guy that supported us financially. He's eating the chicken and beans. The guy reading the newspaper is Jorgen Carlson, who was a bass player for Government Mule for 10 years.
That's
and
cool.
So I can get anybody in there. All I got to do is get certain things out of their face, certain positions.
Yeah,
and they're in.
I mean, you mentioned Pat.
It's wild. Huh?
It is wild. It's a great video. Like, I'm going to have to watch it again. It's been a couple of weeks since I watched it.
Oh, yeah.
But you describing it, I'm going to have to do it again.
You got to watch it a few times to see all the
nuances,
details,
the details and nuances, right?
Yeah,
so, and hopefully my listeners will watch it as well because it's very well done.
Yeah, and what's wild about it too is when we started, the playing is from a live gig that we did. We did a big charity gig, gave a load of money to Tunnel to Towers and 2 or 3 other charities in Chicago. And when Eric counted it off, it's in the same exact tempo as the record.
Wow.
And we played it pretty much all through. If you notice a lot of the playing that you do get to see, it's pretty much in sync with the video.
That's so cool. That's amazing.
It was really a lot of work and labor of love for me and the engineer.
Yeah.
That video, because I said, man, we got to make this great.
Yeah.
I may ask him to make a movie about my book.
Yes.
We'll make our own movie.
Oh, I mean, that was quite the book, Carmine. It was good, man.
Quite the book.
It was a great book.
When I wrote the book, I said to my writer, who he did write The Dirt, by the way.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. I said, you think we should take some of the sex out? He said, you know what? Middle-aged women love the sex. I said, really? So every time I do the book at a gig, I say to a woman buys it, I say, look, this is X-rated. And they go, oh, great. Nobody ever said, I'm not going to buy it then.
I'm not going to read it and I'm not going to buy it.
And I go, oh, great. I definitely want it then, that he was right.
Well, I read it.
I wanted it to be like on a top 10 New York Times bestseller. I had a big book company, VH1 Books, signed it, gave me a good advance. And then they went out of business, but they gave me the advance. And me and the writer, we had a book now. What are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
So we got a smaller company to do it. And I sold thousands of copies, but I wanted it to be like number 10 on the bestseller list.
Well,
so I never made it to that, but everybody that read it loves it. So it's another thing, like King Cobra, like Blue Murder. So it's almost there.
Well, I found it. You know what? I actually found it in a used bookstore because I didn't get it when it came out, and someone probably already read it. And I was like, I had actually forgotten about I remember when it came out, and I didn't see it up here in the bookstore. So I finally got to read it. And
because we didn't have a big company. That's why.
right, exactly. Yeah. So I knew about it.
I did tours. I did book tours in America. I never came up there, you know.
Right.
So you never knew about it.
I knew about the book. I just never saw it in like the store. So when I did, I was like, oh, Carmine Appice's book. I got to pick this up. So I read a portion of it on my way to Nova Scotia on a flight and back. And I was like, I couldn't put it down.
I know this writer is great because I was getting some physical therapy at the time for something. And he sent me the beginning story about Ozzy. You know, and Sharon, when she fired me and all that.
Yeah.
And I know the story, but I was sucked into it when I was reading it in the lobby of the physical therapy.
Yeah.
I read the whole first chapter there. And I said, wow, this guy's good.
Yeah.
Because I knew the story and it sucked me in, you know, the way he wrote it. You know, like you said, it kept you interested all the time.
Well, yeah, and the thing was, and I mean, a lot of you write in the timeline of how things start, and then they move along into the next thing, which he did, and it was great. But it's like you kind of wanted to know what was going to happen, even though I knew what was going to happen next, having followed your career.
He sucks you in.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was.
It's amazing, you know.
So
that's why it was a drag that. You know, we didn't have the VH1 backing that's what the Dirt had.
Yeah.
They had VH1 backing.
Because that would be a hell.
And with all the names in my book, it would be an unbelievable movie. Maybe one day when I'm dead, they'll do a movie of me.
Oh, man. Yeah. I would watch that. I'd probably watch it. I've watched the Dirt, the movie 5 times, so I would probably do the same thing. You know?
Yeah.
I love those things as when they put them to movie. But sometimes the movie's a little bit harder because they have to leave stuff out. I mean, the Dirt's got stuff that that doesn't follow the timeline in the book, but that's Hollywood too, right?
So, yeah, that's the way it goes, you know. Okay.
We are going to talk about United States, which is a Rick Derringer song.
Okay, so what happened was when I moved to Florida, I set up a studio at my house. Me and Rick were good friends for many, many years. We've done records together. We've done tours. We did wrestling things together. And so I did a session with him on that. And then I never heard anything about it. So, you know, I was in touch with him just before he died. I spoke to him the night before he died. You know, we were good friends. So afterwards, I don't know, just late in my thinking, I said to his wife, like, 10 days before the 4th of July, I said, Glenda, where's that song I did with Rick, the United States? Do you have it? I have it on a wave? She goes, yeah, I think so. I said, why don't you send it to me? So she sent it to me. I listened to it. I said, I always thought it was a great song. I said, this is a great song. But Rick mixed it and it really sounded bad. Oh. You know? So I called my engineer. Did all the Cactus stuff. He did all my stuff in the last 5 years. He's a mother, Pat Regan. He's a mother. He's great. So I said, Pat, can you make this sound good? So he took the drums off the recording and remastered them. And he took the guitar and everything off and remastered everything. Oh. Now it sounds really ballsy.
Yeah.
You know? And then I said to the guy that did my video, you know, that did both my last videos, and did the AI, I said, I want to do a real, like, July 4th, 250-year anniversary of this song called United States, but I need it done in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
All right? He said, okay. So he put that together, the video together in 2 days, including the AI versions of me and Rick playing together, which is, you know, off the wall, you know, but it was a great thing. And then Pat Regan said, look, at the end, we got to have all kinds of fireworks and crowds cheering and blah, 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 you know. I said, okay, so we did all that. So we did the whole thing in like 3 days.
Wow.
We made the whole thing happen. And then I sent it to everybody. I sent it to Ted Nugent. I sent it to all my rock star friends. I sent it to all my friends in Washington, D.C. to maybe get on one of their, whatever they're doing, because, come on, it's called the United States,
Yeah.
And it didn't quite get there, but it did get to, I don't know, a couple of 2,000 or 3,000 people on YouTube and all that. And comments I got were amazing, So I was very proud of it because 3 days we did it.
That's crazy. That's amazing. That's a great song. It is an amazing song.
It's a great song. It was a great song. I told Rick, it's a great song. Let's get it out properly with a label and stuff. And he never did it. He never did it.
Well, at least it finally saw the light of day.
And every year, I'm going to push it every year. 4th of July. It's 4th of July every year.
I was in Rochester this 4th of July. We're usually in the States on that weekend for usually when we're on vacation,
Right.
my wife and I. So we were, and you guys, the United States does July 4th. Like the celebration is the most.
No, well, it isn't always like that. It isn't always like that.
No?
But this is the 250. No, this was
Oh, yeah, that's
unbelievable.
true,
I mean,
yeah.
I watched New York and Washington on TV. It's better as watching it on TV. My friend was there in New York. He said you couldn't see now. You couldn't see it all.
Oh, really?
He was on the top of the building. You couldn't see it all because you go back and look at it now. Look at New York City on 4th of July, the fireworks. They had the bridge lit up. They had no traffic on the bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge was all fireworks. They had all, I don't know, 6 or 8, 10 boats in the middle of the Hudson River shooting up the fire. It was unbelievable. And then same thing in Washington. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
That's because it's the
250.
250th anniversary. And now you got all the communists trying to change the country.
Oh, lovely.
Which is unbelievable, man.
Well, we have the same issues here, not communists, but we have other
I bet.
We have other things, and it's not. I mean, Canada's not this. I don't know when the last time you were up here, but it's not the same as it was. I hate to say.
Yeah, well, I was up there. I don't know. The last few years, I played Niagara Falls on the Canada side.
cool.
With me and my brother, actually, so I don't even remember. Within 5 years, maybe.
At the casino.
Yeah.
I take it.
Yeah, it's the casino, I think.
Yeah, that's a beautiful venue. A lot of seating.
I'm playing Rochester on September 10th.
Oh, nice.
With Vanilla Fudge.
Oh, are you?
At a theater.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the first.
So if it's close to you, you might want to come
I
down.
might. I'll see how my schedule looks, and I'll look it up.
Yeah, we got three out of four originals.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
For you guys. Now, let's talk about sorry.
Cactus.
Let's
Cactus.
talk about
I was gonna say,
Cactus.
let's do Cactus.
Let's talk about Cactus.
Yeah. So this whole thing started. This Temple of Blues thing started with the label owner. He came up to me one time. He said, "Can you do an album that shows the influence of Cactus on other musicians? You mean like influences and friends?" He goes, "Yeah." So, yeah, I could do that. I did guitars. I had like 35 guitar players on there,
Yeah.
I said, I can do that. So as we were doing it, I had Ted Nugent on it. I had Joe Bonamassa. I had all these guys on it. Warren Haynes, all these great blues players and rock players. And I said, look at charts, these blues charts. You got Billboard. You got Robin Trower, Foghat, all these guys, Flash. I mean, Flash ain't blues, but they're all like in the top 5 of the Billboard blues charts.
Yeah.
We should market it as a blues album. So he said, let's change the name to Temple of Blues. I said, great. And then we did the first album cover. It looked like Sgt. Pepper. Did you see the first?
I don't know if I did.
album at all?
I don't know if I did.
Well, you should go
I'll have
on
to look it up.
YouTube and check it out. You got Parchment Farm with the original me, Billy Sheehan on bass, the singer of Cactus at the time, Joe Bonamassa playing guitar on the lead solos, and Jim McCarty, original guitar player, playing throughout the whole song. It's ridiculous. A lot of shit like that. That's King's X guys playing with. And we did all the Cactus songs over again.
That's cool.
So that one came out with a couple of bad videos. I have to say they were bad videos. The label did it. And that came out and broke into the Billboard Blues charts at number 3.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I said, wow, it's just cool. I haven't been on a Billboard chart since 1989 in Blue Murder, you know?
Wow.
So I was very happy with it. So after we did it for a while, it stayed on the Amazon Blues charts for over a year. So they said, what about we do another one, like Temple of Blues 2? I said, okay. But we had certain restrictions. We don't want to have too many songs, just to put it on one LP, and the CD had two. You know, I'm sorry, CD had one extra song.
Okay.
All right, so we did that again, and then I started with Ted Nugent. I got Ted Nugent, I got Dee Snider, and Dee Snider loved Cactus. He was like a big Cactus fan. Even re-recorded back in the old days with Widowmaker. He recorded Evil.
I remember that.
Like
I have that CD, actually. Yeah.
And he sang Evil on the first album, Temple of Blues 1. He sang Evil. So I gave him Little Red Rooster. Have you seen that video?
I have not seen that video.
Oh, dude, you got to get hit.
I got to get down with it.
Little Red Rooster with the new album, Cactus, Little Red Rooster with Dee Snider. Dee Snider, except for the singing, is all AI.
Really?
Right?
That's
So
cool. I got to see that.
Yes.
I got to look that up.
So I did it, and I said, wow, I hope he likes it. If he don't like it, I'm fucked. You know?
Yeah.
But he came back and said, fucking amazing. He loved it.
That's cool.
That's why when the second video came, you know, I said, we got to make this even better. And we did. We definitely made it better.
Backdoor Man? Is that,
Yeah.
that Backdoor Man's the second video?
That's the second video of the Temple of Blues 2.
Yes.
The Temple of Blues 1 videos, they're terrible. The label did it. They did really a bad job for both videos.
I won't look that
They did
up.
one way or another, and Evil. You know, it's terrible. The Evil story made no sense.
That's such a good
And
song, too.
the photography was bad. It was bad,
Now,
you know, but
Tracii Guns plays guitar on Little Red Rooster as well. Am I correct?
yes. Yeah. And Jimmy Haslip, you know who he is?
Y-
Jimmy Haslip played with Gino Vanelli and the Yellow Jackets. He's a monster bass player. I brought him into business. So, you know, he pretty much said, anything you want to do, let me know. Same with Billy Sheehan. Because Billy Sheehan's favorite guy, mentor, was Tim Bogert.
Right.
Yeah, and he said, anything you need done with Vanilla Fudge, Cactus, or BBA, anything, I'm there.
Funny enough.
So right now he's doing 7 interviews with us,
Wow.
for us.
I'm talking to Billy
say.
today, actually, at 7.
Well, then you're talking to him for me
Okay.
through Michael, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, through
Yeah,
Michael.
that's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so,
Well, when you get on it, just tell him, hey, Billy, come. I said, don't forget to talk about Cactus.
all right. I will make sure we do.
No, he does. I'm just busting balls.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was very pleased with the way the first one came out. And Pat Regan mixed it, and it came out fantastic.
That's a good producer.
Sound great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. And on the first one, we did all the Cactus songs. All right. The second one, we did 3 Cactus songs. I said, okay, what do I want to do? My favorite blues album of all time was the album we got Evil off of, Helen Wolf's Electric album. I loved it all. The drum parts were great. The sound. Jimmy Page had it, gave it to Jeff Beck. Jeff Beck gave it to me. If you listen to this album, you hear Led Zeppelin on it, you hear Jeff Beck on it, and you hear Cactus on it. So I said, we had one track already. Same thing, Brian said, I have a track with Melanie doing Purple Haze. I want to do Cactus and Melanie doing this. What do you think? I said, without a doubt. So we did that, and we added that to the Cactus album.
Yeah.
And then I said, I need 7 more songs. So I went back to the album with Howlin' Wolf. And, Howlin' Wolf and Willie Dixon, they wrote all the songs. Great songs.
All the great songs.
Spoonful.
Yeah.
Spoonful.
Yeah.
And, just Backdoor Man. I mean, so we did it like them, except Backdoor Man didn't have that up-tempo part where in the video, all the car chases and stuff. But, that wasn't made for the car chase. That was made for Eric to kick ass. We're playing the 6/8 blues thing. Then I went to the up-tempo. And when I gave it to him, he set the track back and he didn't play on the up-tempo. I said, what happened? He said, well, I thought that's for the drums. I said, no, man, that's for you. And I sent it back to him, and he wailed on it, you know. And then when we made the video, it fit perfectly with the up-tempo, all that action at the end, you know, with the car chase and the guy gets thrown out the window and all that stuff, you know. So it was really a lot of fun. Now, these albums take about 6 months to do because not one person is in the same room.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
My drums start with me. I get the click. I hum the track. I sing where the vocal goes. I send it to my guitar player. He puts a guitar on it. He puts the bass on it. My singer, Terry, puts a vocal on it. And now we got a demo.
That's amazing. So you just do it
It's
on your, like, just playing the
by myself.
by yourself with the click track.
Yeah.
Wow.
And with a click track. But I would hum like evil. I go bomb, 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 click down. Right?
Yeah.
And then I get the whole rhythm track, and then I sing it.
Right.
Long fags from home. Long da da da. And now I got like a vocal rhythm track, and then I have a vocal track. And some of the songs, like a song called "Moaning," I actually played bass on it.
Oh, did you?
And
Cool.
it sounded pretty good. Yeah, and I have a 61 precision bass. It's a great sounding bass. I said, let me plug it in just for Elvis. I did that on a couple of tracks. I did that on what was the other one I did it on? It's a Tailgater? I forgot. And I played bass on a couple, and that gave more of the feel with me with the drums for the bass. And then whoever played bass followed my bass. Rudy Sarzo played bass.
Right.
So he followed my bass part, which I thought was pretty funny.
Wow.
You know?
That's pretty.
And with Moaning, I gave it to my bass player, James Computer, who's a great bass player. I said, you put the bass on. He goes, why? The bass sounds good. I said, come on, dude, that's me. You play bass. So he played the bass, and he definitely was better than me, you know. So this is how the process goes. And then I think about, well, who'd be good? Like I gave Dee a choice of 2 or 3 songs. Demos. I gave him 2 or 3 demos. He said, I want to do Little Red Rooster. I said, okay, cool. So we did Little Red Rooster. He put the vocal on to me and my drums, and my guitar player, he had the bass on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I said, okay, let me put Jimmy Haslip on the bass. He put the bass on it. And then I said, I need like a bluesy kind of well-known, bluesiest kind of guitar player. Not all that, you know. I said, I called my label. He said, what about Tracii Guns? I said, oh, great, good idea. So I called Tracii. I said, well, I'm doing this for blah, 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 with Dee, blah, blah, blah. You want to do it? Sure. And that's how the whole record goes, you know?
That's so cool.
With Eric was interesting because we gave him that song because he's, you know, known as a blues guy. So that's a real bluesy thing, background man. So he played to my bass player, you know, my guitar player playing bass, and my guitar player playing some rhythm, and he did all the solos and everything. Then we gave it to Billy. So when Billy played it, he copped some of his solos. If you listen really carefully,
which Billy is very good at doing.
Yes, and we even did it on the video. You know, where the video, you know, it goes to we're on the billboard. It goes do 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 do. You know, it goes, follows him down. You know, and we captured it on the video too for that.
Yeah.
You know, and so there's a lot of surprises happened. You know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
With everybody, Dee was surprised when he saw the video. You know, the harmonica player is a guy from around here. His name is Rockin' Jake. He's phenomenal. I just went to see him Saturday night with his band. He's just really phenomenal. I can't believe this guy's playing clubs for 20 people, you know? So I wanted to give him a break. I said, man, you got to play in this Cactus house.
That's so good of you.
You know?
That's so cool.
But he's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I needed a harmonica player.
Yeah.
I mean, my singer was okay, but I wanted somebody that could really wail.
Yeah.
You know? As you notice, the harmonica playing on is wailing on both songs.
That's cool.
You know? So that's how it's all put together.
That's cool. I love your snare sound on Red Rooster.
Oh, yeah.
That just sounded so good.
That snare drum, my sound is a combination sound. It's got these 1971 Ludwig Cactus bass drums.
Yeah.
24 by 15. It's 1 inch bigger. Right?
Yeah.
That's the drum that started every drum company from making bigger drums. My big drums with Vanilla Fudge started oversized drums.
Yeah.
But that drum made power toms and power bass drums, right? So I got 2 of those. I got my D drum, Carmine logo D drum 3-ply tom toms, which are candy apple red. The bass drums
Beautiful.
are maple. And I got a 2004 Slingerland Radio King wood snare drum that's pink lipped,
Oh, cool.
right?
That's cool.
And that snare just sounds great. But what I like is, I don't know if you notice, sometimes when you're listening, it's something on the left, like a snare, and it goes across the speakers.
I love it when that happens.
Have you noticed that?
I didn't. I don't know if I did. I'm not going to lie.
You check it out. I do it all the time. I go, ga, 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 ga,
I
ga,
love
ga,
that
da,
sort
da,
of
da,
thing.
da, da,
I
da.
love that.
And it goes right across
Yeah.
it, And that's a little 8-inch pearl drum that when I had my 75th birthday party, my wife bought those to put the flowers on and tables. So I had 2 of them. I gave one to my neighbor. And when I went to his house, he played it. I said, wow, that sounds great. So I took my piccolo drum off
Yeah.
and I put that drum on. And that drum sounds unbelievable,
That's so cool.
And Pat Regan has a lot to do with it because I get my drums. It's in my guest house. So I'm in the living room where the drums are. And then outside, you have a double door. But outside, one on each side of the door behind the wall are the room mics, low room mics. They're all Audix mics. And then in the hallway, it goes around. There's a hallway to go to the back bedroom. I put a mic in the hallway, right? And you can compress the hell out of it,
Right.
and make it sound good. And then Pat really, what he does is amazing. All the leakage that goes on the tom-toms, he gets all the leakage out. So when I hit the tom, all you hear is that tom. You don't hear everything else. And then you got the rooms and the other room that you have full control of it,
Wow.
And he's just
That's brilliant.
unbelievable. That's why I do these sessions for Cleopatra. And I said, look, I don't want Joe Schmo mixing my drums. I want Pat to mix my drums, and he could put everything on top of it.
Yeah.
He said, well, sometimes that don't work. I said, yeah, but a lot of times, like there's a new couple of songs that they put out, the Rainbow songs. What are they? Long Live Rock and Roll.
Oh, yeah. Long live rock and roll.
that song.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other one, Man on Silver
Man on
Mountain.
Silver Mountain.
But I did my studio. It doesn't sound anywhere near as good as my Cactus records because this other idiots mix it. They don't know what they're
They
doing.
don't know what they're doing.
So now I said, I'm going to do tracks for you. But when you mix my drum sound, I want to hear it first.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like Joe Schmo, You're using my name.
You
in
want
my
it to
playing.
sound like you.
I want to sound like me.
Yeah, that makes
I want to
sense.
sound like Joe Schmo,
Right.
I
mean, people have a
said,
standard
otherwise-
of what they want you to sound
Yeah,
like,
I
right?
have a standard in my stuff. And, they pay a lot of money. I do it for fun. I said, look, if you're not going to do that for me, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't need your $300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do it because I liked it.
Yeah.
I played on Pink Floyd. It sounded okay. As long as I can hear what they're doing before they finish it, then I can tell them to do this or that, to make it sound more like me. So, and I produce the drum sound, and then I give it to Pat, and he finishes the production on the drum sound. And little by little, we build all these tracks.
Yeah.
And it's
I love
crazy.
I love that.
It's 6 months.
You know what?
Takes 6 months.
The one track I was excited to hear was Tall Dragger because I was curious to hear how Alex Skolnick would approach it.
Amazing.
I know. It blew me away.
That's the one that I think that's the one that Rudy's on. And I think that's the one I played bass on first.
Okay.
Because there's a harmonica on there too, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And-
Yes, the other harmonica track.
He's
Unbelievable.
he is unbelievable.
unbelievable.
And I mean, I remember when he did, like, most people know him from Testament, but he did a Sabotage album, and how he approached that stuff compared to how he approached Testament was so different,
He approaches what it needs.
Yeah. He's such a great
and he was
player.
an off the wall one. He's an off the wall one. I'll tell you what else I got with him. Me and my engineer and Derek Sherinian.
Yes.
We did 2 Jeff Beck tribute songs. I'm going to try and get to do a Jeff Beck tribute album.
Cool.
But not like these Jeff Beck tribute albums where the guys, nobody played with Jeff and they just throw anybody on. I mean, I played with Jeff. I know what my drum sounds.
Yeah.
You know? And we did Lead Boots, right?
Yeah.
Down, 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 with Alex.
No. Cool.
And then we did Freeway Jam with Steve Stevens,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yeah.
And on bass is Tony Franklin.
Oh, Tony's so good. Tony's so amazing.
So this is like killer stuff and mixed by Pat,
Wow.
you know? It sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. So I think that's the next project I'm going to push for. So I already got 2 demos.
Yeah.
I mean, God, every guitar player would want to play on
no
that with me,
kidding.
Tony, and Derek. With me, Tony, and Derek, you know, everybody would want to play on
You
that.
know, it's funny that I was talking to someone about Jeff Beck last week. I said, and it was someone who had gone to see Jeff a few years ago before he passed. And I said, so how was it? He goes, oh man, it was unbelievable.
He's great.
I said, it's funny because he, you know, like in a lot of people's eyes, like he was like, there's Clapton, Page, and then Jeff Beck, but Jeff Beck was like this unorthodox.
Jeff Beck far above that. He made the guitar talk.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I was alluding to.
And you know, when we just released a year and a half ago, Beck Bogan Appice live box set. I don't know if you heard that.
No, I didn't know that either.
It's the last time you'll ever hear Jeff Beck playing that way.
Wow.
He was just on fire. The whole band was on fire. But when we were on that tour, I used to travel with him in the car, and Tim would travel in the tour manager. And I used to play him Mount Vista Orchestra and the Billy Cobham albums. And we used to talk about, this is where we got to go next with BBA, this kind of stuff. And so when we broke up, I went to England. I was there 3 years, and I played on Blow by Blow. You know, I got tapes of me playing on Blow by Blow. We couldn't work it out. So I couldn't be on it.
Wow.
You know, and I was really mad about it and then when it came out, it did double platinum. I said, fuck, man.
No kidding,
You know?
right?
I had a lot to do with this, of turning Jeff on to this kind of music and then doing it with him. And then I couldn't do it because the manager wanted it to be a Jeff Beck album, no like featuring anybody, you know. And he said I could have been a sideman, but my manager said, you just came out of Beck, Bogan, Appice, equal bill with Jeff Beck. You want to be a sideman now? It's not good for your career.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Wow.
But I never got paid a dime for anything. I paid for everything myself out of my pocket for my travel, my apartment. I've just realized that recently.
Really?
You know, but I also realized that I was still friends with Jeff. I mean, you know, we went to see him. Me and Tim would go see him when he comes to LA and all that. But I was a little upset that he had Bernard Purdy on the tour, you know. And then I was involved in it and went double platinum. And I said, and now I'm playing with a group called KGB and nothing's really happening with it.
Right.
And I was depressed about it. Not really depressed, but bummed out, you know.
Yeah.
But if I would have been with Jeff, I would have never joined Rod.
Right.
And Rod exploded my career.
Yeah. Yeah. Which,
You know, #1 records, #4 records that I wrote, played on platinum, 10 million albums. I mean, you know, so in the end, it was okay. Matter of fact, when we were in Australia, I had to get Jeff and Rod together, right?
Yeah.
Because they were always enemies. We stayed in the same hotel.
that's right. Yeah.
And I got them together to come. I was the only middleman, you know, because I played with Rod and I played with Jeff.
Yeah.
Nobody else there, you know. Well, Phil Chen was, but Phil wasn't like aggressive like I was, you know. So I got them back together at that gig. And then a year later, we worked on People Get Ready because Jeff came to my house.
Love that song.
He broke up with his girlfriend. It's in the book.
Yeah.
You read it in the book, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I was in my house. I was getting divorced. And we went and partied for a while. Then let's do some music. We went to Dwayne Hitchings' house. We co-wrote Either I'm Sexy and Young Turks and Infatuation. and all that great writer at a studio. We're putting the song down. And Jeff said, "It sounds like People Get Ready." I said, "Yeah, it does." And you know that lick, do 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 do.
Yeah.
That was Dwayne's lick.
Really?
Dwayne's lick.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That's
crazy.
And then Jeff said, "Let's get Rod to sing it." He wasn't still that friendly with Rod, so we called him. And then we got him in the studio. We went to an Italian restaurant to find Rod, and we put him in the car, played the cassette. He said, "Wow, it's great." A week later in the studio, I had Rod over here, Jeff over there, Dwayne inside. We put the whole track down with keyboards, and it's a drum machine on there. I programmed the drum machine, and my voice is all the background, like the gospel stuff, And
That's cool.
and so Jeff's manager calls me and goes, "Hey," he was very, "Oh, darling, how are you, darling?" I'm good. So what do you want for doing that session? I said, "I don't want anything for doing the session. I just want the credit. Produced by Jeff and me and Dwayne and Rod or some way."
Yeah.
So I never got paid for that.
Oh, well,
So credit comes out, produced by Jeff Beck, thanks to the boys. You're kidding me.
that was it?
Yeah, I know it ain't freaking Jeff. It's the way these managers are,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in return, Jeff played on 2 Vanilla Fudge albums. The song's called Mystery was the album. We're going to re-release that album as a collectible
That's cool.
now with Cleopatra, But it's like every time I work with Jeff, I get screwed somehow.
Well, it's in the book, and that was the disappointing part in the book was how you talk about what happened with Jeff and the disappointment
Yeah.
in so much of it, and reading the book, and you're like, oh, that's how things went down. It was unfortunate to hear.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, but I don't, like I said, I don't think it's Jeff. Maybe I'm wrong.
More management.
I don't think it was Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more management. And, like the manager probably said, "Well, for your album, you produced it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, whatever, I live in a beautiful house. I got a great career. I had a great career. I'm still doing records. I got my Rod show. I got Vanilla Fudge. I got Cactus. And, I don't have to worry about money.
Yeah.
And all that. Now I'm going to be 80 freaking years old.
Really?
Jesus, I can't freaking believe it.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow, man.
In December.
Good for you.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
You're still rocking.
Yeah, I'm still rocking. So I love playing.
Yeah.
Like I say, check out the Rod the Show website. We
I'm
just
gonna check
rebuilt
that
the whole
out, man.
website.
That sounds
We're
great.
rebranding the website, and the guy looks exactly like Rod.
That's cool.
Sings exactly like Rod.
Wow.
The sax player is Tracii Guns that played with Rod 14 years. She was every time you saw Rod with a female sax player, it's her.
Wow.
Now he's got all these girls. Now it's a whole different show. Our show is like Rod in 1979, kick-ass Rod Stewart. Even when we do like some guys have all the luck, it kicks ass. It's not wimpy anymore. With me playing behind it, it's a funny story. When I first joined, this guy had the show together, and I had the Rod experience in 2013, and I had guys from the Rod band. I had Danny Johnson, Jimmy Crespo, Phil Chen.
Oh, wow.
And I had a guy. The guy sort of looked like Rod, and we went to China and did a bunch of stuff, but I couldn't get nobody to book it, So I left it. I did other things. Then, I don't know, 2023 or 24, I felt the urge to play songs again, that I created with Rod, Rod's playing them all the time, but I never got to play them.
Yeah.
Hot Legs and Passion.
Great song.
And we even did You Keep Me Hanging On, like the Fudge.
Yeah.
We did it on the Footloose Fancy Free album. That's the highlight of the show.
Such a good song.
Yeah, so then I put a new band together down here. It's the same singer, but now the singer's like 14 years old, passed away now, God bless him. And I did 3 shows, and my roadie at the time, he passed away too. He said, this is nowhere near like the other one. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, I think I'll blow it out. So I blew it out. But in the meanwhile, Katra, the sax player, asked me if I could help this guy Rob's show and give him some people to call in Europe to go to Europe. So I was kind of in touch with him. So I said, hey, dude, I blew out the other one. I said, hey, dude, where are you playing down Florida? He goes, oh, I'm playing down Florida next week. I said, where are you playing? He said, I'm at the Villages. I said, okay. Villages is only like 2.5, 3 hour drive from me. So I went up there with a friend of mine that owns a limo company in a big Escalade. We went up there. They gave us a couple of rooms, and I watched the sound check. And then he said, you want to play some songs? I said, sure. So I went up. He had about 800 people there. He introduced me. The audience was freaked out. And I got on the drums, not my drums. And I played Hot Legs and Passion and Sexy and Infatuation. And the audience freaking loved it. So he comes off the stage and says to me, let's be partners. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. But I revamped the whole show.
That's awesome.
He was a tribute act.
Wow.
He was a tribute act. And I went up to the guys in the band. They're wearing all black. I said, are you guys in the band? Or are you guys a backup band? He said, we're in the band. I said, well, freaking dress like you're in the band.
Yeah.
You know, Rod Stewart had, all the band was flashy, man.
Yeah.
You know? So like they had a guitar player, and Steve, he was bald around here, you know? And he'd go on stage like that. I said, dude, you need to wear a hat, like a Robert De Niro hat.
Yeah.
And you wear flashy. He did. And I said, the bass player, I even gave him a flashy jacket to wear. The keyboard player jumped on it, and Catcher looked great all the time. And Rob, he's got more clothes than Rod Stewart. He's got everything that Rod ever wore.
Wow.
So now, the first gig that we changed the look, and then I had a picture of my drum set that said, Rod, tonight's the night, or whatever it was. And we put it on the bass drum, and then we flashed it on the back. You know, so now it's looking better.
That's
you know.
cool.
And the agent that booked it comes up to us and said, who's that new guitar player? He's freaking awesome. I said, see?
He noticed them now.
Yeah. So then we kept building and kept building. Now we got a full video. It runs the whole beginning. It starts with Rod. Well, it's on there's like a sizzle reel. You'll see it.
Yeah.
It talks about Rod Stewart when he was young, when he was born, went through the war with his parents. Then he started playing with this guy. Then he played with Jeff Beck. And then he played with the Faces. Then he started his own band. You see pictures of me in there. Then his next band, Pictures of Catcher. And starring as Rod Stewart, Rob Cardle. And behind all that is Young Turks with an orchestra, because we did a gig with an orchestra a year ago. So we had Young Turks with an orchestra because we recorded it in my studio the same way. You know, I had a guitar, bass, and my friend's son, the guy that drove me up there, Elta intertwined.
Yeah.
His son is 16 years old, unbelievably talented, orchestral kind of dude. He wrote the whole orchestra charts.
Wow.
So in order to do it, he had to do it computer-wise first. So we have actually 11 songs with an orchestra, you know, with the band. So we use Young Turks, starts off, you know, and then we have an English guy talking about Rod. The Rod Stewart was born in, you know, blah, 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 blah. He played with the Faith. He's English. So please welcome Rod, the show. And then the music's still playing. And then soon, after about 8 bars, that we pick up on that song. We play Young Turks first.
Wow.
And then it goes into the show. We have an intermission.
It's amazing.
You know, it's a regular show. We have fire. We do Hot Legs. Fire comes up.
Wow.
You know.
That's cool.
At the end of the show, we do You Think I'm Sexy. You got confetti shooting. We got the fire. We got air dances like you see in the car wash, you know, the air dances.
Yeah.
You know.
That sounds awesome.
People singing. The people sing just like they sing at a Rod show. When I'm up there, I feel like I'm playing with Rod.
That's cool.
You know, from the back, he looks just like Rod.
Wow.
And when Rod captured, and I told Rod I'm doing this, and he said, wow, I'm honored.
Oh,
right?
Well, that's good.
How cool is that?
That's very cool.
Yeah, so that's in our promo. And when Catcher first gave him a picture and the voice of Rob said, wow, he sounds like me. He looks like me. He dresses like me. So she said, and he sounds like you. He said, do you know what the giveaway is? She said, what? He's shorter than me. His Rod was always 6'1".
Oh, okay.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So-
that's a great.
Yeah, but
I wanna see that.
it's the most fun thing. I'm having so much fun with it. So we have a new agent now. We're rebranding it all. You know, rebranding with new manager, new agents, got some great ideas. It was his idea. He said, your website's boring. We got to fix the website first thing. We got to fix the sizzle reel.
Yeah.
You know, and it looks great now. You know.
Wow. Well, you could.
It's just like when I wrote the book, and he sent me that first.
Right.
And he sent me the first thing. It's like I looked at the website. I said, "Wow, what a difference! This looks so professional now."
Yeah.
You know.
That's amazing.
So it really makes a difference, I think. You know.
Well,
So
well,
I want to play till I can't play no more, and then I got these 3 bands to play with. You know, this one has potential to go. You know, I don't know. It could be 1,500 seat theaters, 2,000 seat theaters, and selling them out, making 40 grand a night. It has the legs, as we call it,
yeah.
because there's so many hits.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
And you know, it used to be called Tonight's the Night.
Yeah.
That's what he called it. Rob called it Tonight's the Night for 20 years. And then, you know, we do merch after the show, you know, and we meet people, take pictures. So this one young girl came up to me and she said, why do you call it Tonight's the Night? And you know why, right?
Just,
Or do you?
I don't.
Would you know why?
No.
Would you know why we would call the show Tonight's the Night?
Is it a song?
How old are you?
I am 51.
Okay. Tonight's the night.
Right. Okay.
It's gonna be all right, right?
Yeah. So,
So she didn't know why we called it Tonight's the Night.
oh.
But she went with her mother.
Oh, okay.
And I hit that a few other times. I said to Rob, I said, you know what? We got to change the name. He said, why? I said, because Tonight's the Night doesn't say Rod in it. Doesn't say Rod songs.
Right.
It's got to be called Rod, the show. Or Rod, experience.
Yeah.
Tonight's the Night, don't say it. So you're missing out on people to come and see it because some people don't realize it's Rod.
Yeah. So in terms of a marketing.
So we
thing.
changed it.
Yeah.
So we changed it. Now this year, January, we changed it. And now we changed management and agents. And now we're rebranding the whole thing.
Wow.
It's as a musical, what was it called? A musical production.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know, out of nowhere. I don't want to hear tribute. I kept hearing tribute. I go, piss me off because I was in the
You
band.
were in the band.
You're playing songs I wrote.
Yeah.
You're playing songs I wrote.
Yeah.
Songs I played on, I sang on, you know? And Catra played 14 years with him.
Yeah.
I go in the middle of the show and I come out at intermission. I go, we have 21 years of Rod Stewart on the stage tonight.
Wow.
None of these other bands can say that, you know?
Yeah. That's amazing.
But anyway,
Well, Carmen,
it's great.
I want to ask you about something, and it is this album.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good album.
That is a great album.
That's my ex-wife.
Is it?
That's the mother of my kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she looked like that. That's when she looked like that. Now she don't look like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
And this is on Rocker Records. New
yeah.
songs
So what happened with that? Yeah. Rocker Records was my name, Rocker Records. After we did the second album with was it Capital?
Capital, yeah.
Mark Free left.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was still Mark Free at the time.
Yes.
And Johnny Rod left
For Wasp.
and Mick left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mick left for the Bullet Boys.
Yes. With the two guys that were
Along with
singing
some of
with
the-
you guys, right? With the
Well,
sing-
those 3 guys were with us.
Yeah.
So me and Dave were left alone.
Right.
But we were rehearsing songs, you know. So Johnny left to go to Wasp, and Dave and Mick went to the Bullet Boys, and like they have the song for the love of money. That song.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my idea.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
wrote, you
So
said
they
that
took
in the
some of-
book, and that's why I wanted to talk about this
so
because
exactly. So they went over. they went over and did that kind of stuff. So, and then I was really pissed off that they left us just flat. You know, eventually when their album went gold, they gave me a gold Bullet
Which
Boys
you
album
said.
to try and be cool. But so me and Dave were like stuck. And we had the song Take It Off, which is a good song that Gene Simmons gave us.
Yeah.
You know? So we did the song, we started recording, and now we had no label. I said, maybe we should just do it on our own fucking label. You know, I can set up a label. And my manager set up the label, and we recorded the whole thing. We got odds and ends of different people on it. Jeff Northrop, I think it was.
Yes. Yep.
Johnny Edwards,
Johnny
who sang
Edwards.
with
Yep.
Johnny Edwards sang with Farney, was great.
He was amazing.
And then we
Yeah.
did that Take It Off video. That was pretty good video.
Yeah, it was.
You know?
It was I mean, I really liked this album.
Yeah, I liked
Mainstream
it. I liked it
Machine.
too.
I loved Walls of
You know,
Silence.
motherfucker,
Walls of Silence.
that one was great. Those were going to be on our album anyway.
Right.
The Mainstream Machine we got from somebody else, and great song. Walls of Silence, great song. Take It Off, great song.
It's My Life, which was a Gene,
It's My Life.
Gene and Paul song.
Another one. Yeah,
And then Perfect.
it was a great record. Yeah, Perfect Crime, was it? Perfect Crime?
Yeah, Perfect Crime, which was, it looks like Johnny
Yeah.
Edwards and Jake and Jeff
Yeah.
Northrop wrote it. And Larry Hart played bass, right? On the album.
Yeah. Larry played bass.
Yeah, it's,
And I lost track of everybody, you know, on that except Dave. Dave's out of the business. He works for what's that the ticketing company, Live Nation.
Live Nation.
Does computer computer stuff.
Wow, good for him.
But he travels around the world with his kids.
Well,
you know, and
The funny thing is, there is a King. It's credited as King Cobra on YouTube of you guys doing Kissin' Kitty, which was on the Bullet Boys album. Do you remember doing that? Someone.
yeah, we've done some gigs
Yeah.
with those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, there is. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'd
there's-
like to hear that.
I asked Mick about it, and he wasn't aware of it either. And I was like, there's
No, I'm not aware of it either.
Yeah, there's a version of
You know,
Kissin' Kitty.
Mick, you know, look, I love Mick. He's a good guy. You know, I brought him into the business. I brought all these guys into the business, you know, and he's a good guy. And Johnny Rod, I'm still with Johnny Rod.
Yeah.
We do this thing with this very rich guy that does spoken word. Johnny brought me into it. And we still do that with Pat Regan as well.
Well, I mean, this album
I talked to him.
that you guys did is
It's a great
phenomenal.
album.
It's a great album. It was so good. We Are
And
Warriors.
you see the video? You see the video with that?
I probably
Warriors.
did. I probably did when it came out.
It was a good video. I forgot who did it. I forgot who did that, but it was CGI.
Okay, I will.
CGI. I got me on the top of a building. Open up. I'm playing drums on top of the building. You know, and we're in a train car in New York. You know, we made it really crazy, but that was a great record. But unfortunately, Lee Patchett didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know. And
we got Carlos Cavazo on it.
and
you
Rowan
know, it was
Robertson,
great.
right? Rowan Robertson and
Rowan
Carlos
Robertson,
Cavazo. Which
yeah.
is so cool. I was surprised when
Yeah, good lineup.
great lineup.
It's a good lineup. You know, I always try and get good musicians. I never play with anything shitty.
That is true. Like, Carmine, before I let you go, I want to thank you for chatting with me today. The one Blue Murder question I had was when you were recording Valley of the Kings, that drum intro. Did you do that to a bed track, or was it to a click? Like how? Because it goes on for quite a long time.
The way I used to record when you have a band in one room,
Yeah.
is you do one or two tracks to a click.
Yeah.
And then we pick which track we like. And then I go in, especially Blue Murder.
Yeah.
I went in and played to the track. Okay, now I didn't come up with that. I don't know who came up with that, but that was already there after Cozy was there and somebody else was there.
Okay.
You know, so, but when we went up to Little Mountain, I brought all my drums, all the drums. I had those ones that are in my house. I had other bass drum. I mean, it was just an array of drums, like a drum shop up there.
Yeah.
You know, and with Bob Rock, we created really great drum sound. And I think we created the drum sound that ended up on Dr. Feelgood because
Right.
it sounds very similar.
It does. You're right.
You know, but what happened is we did the drum sounds up there. And then we took a break because we had no singer. When we went up there, it was going to be Tony Martin was going to sing with us. It's probably in the book, right? And Tony Martin canceled the day we were going to fly. So Bob Rock said, come up anyway, let's do all the tracks, then we'll get a singer. So we went up anyway. So by the time we did the whole album, or the last track, Bob said to me, you know what? We got such a better drum sound now than we had at the beginning. I'd like to do the drums over again. I said, me too.
Oh, cool.
So I did all the drums over again.
Yeah.
You know?
That was in the book, wasn't it?
And
was that in the book too?
It might have been in the book, yeah. And by the time we finished the end of the new drum sound, it was freaking killer. Somewhere I got a cassette of it analog, which is unreal, you know? So then we took a break to try and find a singer. So on the break, we went through everybody, Derek St. Holmes, Mark Free, all these guys. I can't even remember who else. So then me and Tony said, look, we can't find a singer. You got to deal with your voice. Why don't you sing and we'll do the backgrounds and make it support you. We don't need any singer. We'll be a trio with depth. The depth was the keyboard. We'll be the trio with depth, Nick. So we finally persuaded him, and we had to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. And then we went back up to Little Mountain, and he did all the vocals, and we did background vocals, and we finished it. And we wanted it being mixed on analog, but Bob Rock mixed it on a Sony digital machine, you know? And me and John walked in there and said to him, dude, we don't want you mixing it on this digital. We want it to be analog, period. And Bob looked at us and said, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I'm not going to mix it at all.
Really? So this is
so that's
product?
mixed on a digital. That's a digital mixed on a digital machine on a Trident board or one of those boards, you know. But the analog version was so fucking unbelievable. If somebody got any fucking smarts, they would find the analog version of that album and go in and remix it analog and re-release it. Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that would be.
I just thought of that now.
That's a great idea. So I've heard one of the demos with Ray Gillen singing on the Blue Murder stuff, and I could see what I mean. Badlands was for him. I liked how John did the vocals.
John,
I love them, actually.
He sang great.
Yeah.
You know?
And he played like a monster.
And when we were live, you know, we were a jam band. We played with Bon Jovi. We did 8 shows with Bon Jovi and all the Screaming Girls, and they were loving it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't just play every night the same. We were like BBA. You know, in Japan, we went to Japan, we tore it up. We had 12,000 people in Japan.
Wow.
And Burn Magazine was listing the greatest trios of all time. Hendrix, The Cream, BBA, and Blue Murder. I said, wow, I'm in 2 of these.
That's amazing.
You know? But, you know, it was fantastic. The band was amazing. I tried to get it. Me and Tony tried to get John to redo, like just before COVID, like in 2019, 2018, to do a Blue Murder reunion.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
And we had some gigs in Europe, booked for big money. And then John and the manager had a fight, and that was the end of that. So we were going to do it in America, you know. And then John said, nah, you know, I think I want to do John Sykes and Blue Murder, you know, and then I can do, you know, Tim Lizzy and Tigers of Tabor. I never heard of Tigers of Pens. I never heard of them, you know. And so me and Tony said, no, I don't want to do that. People want to hear Blue Murder. Yeah. They heard the other stuff. So we didn't do it.
That's too bad.
So then I go to the NAMM show in 2020, which is the last one. And I see John there, and I see Tony there. And John said, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it with Tony. I found a little black drummer. And in fact, he wants to meet you. I said, okay. He said, once I do this, then we'll go out and do Blue Murder. I said, okay. And then COVID hit. I met the little drummer. He was all gaga to meet me.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, COVID hit. That was the end of it.
Oh, wow.
You know.
And then, and now it'll never happen, unfortunately.
I talked to Tony. Maybe we should do somehow a tribute to Blue Murder tour with somebody or something. You know, but
There are,
like Doug Aldridge wanted to do that, and he wanted to do it with us.
that would be cool.
I said, but we got to get a singer then.
Yeah.
You know.
But Doug would be the right guy to play it because he does.
Yeah, he would
does
be.
John
He
so
would be,
well.
Yeah. So it might be. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm getting old.
Man, that would be so.
I was
cool.
60.
There's fans of there is a lot of fans of Blue Murder. There is a lot of us fans.
There's so many fans of Blue Murder.
So many of us.
So many fans. So many.
You know.
I tried to get to do a Blue Murder tribute album with Cleopatra, but they go according to how many people per month are on Spotify, and there was only 50,000. And they like it to be over 100,000. I said, you mean to tell me Cactus is over 100,000? He said, yeah. I said, wow. I said, I thought Blue Murder would be more than Cactus.
Wow.
But it isn't.
Huh.
So, again, that's why I said, let's do the Jeff Beck album. Once this Cactus one is done, we're doing some other things with him now. He wants to do these collectibles, like just a collectible that you can't get anywhere. And you only do 85 units. And it sells for $50, $80, $100,
Yeah.
So we're working on some of that. But I'd really like to do the Jeff Beck album, man.
That would be cool.
I mean, I got killer demos.
Yeah.
They sound unbelievable,
I can't wait to hear that. Well, Carmine, I want to thank you so much. It was such a pleasure getting to talk to you and hearing all the great stories.
I did all the talking. I'm sorry about
that's
that.
okay, man. I was just enjoying myself listening, and it was like I said, it was a pleasure. So, is there anything else you'd like to add before I let you go?
And you know what? Maybe you should send me a copy of that. It could be my audio book.
Exactly.
That's one of the things my new manager said. You should sit down in your studio and don't read your book. Just tell the stories of your
man.
books.
Yeah. I agree. Maybe that's your next thing.
I might do
your next thing.
I might do that, actually. I'll give it to him and let him get a deal for it.
Perfect. Okay, man. Well,
okay, man.
Okay, Carmine.
Good to talk. You're a nice guy. I mean, look, can't go wrong when a guy gets on the video and he's got a Blue Murder shirt.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Some guys talk to me and have a Testament shirt on.
No, I don't own a Testament shirt. Not that I don't like them, but
yeah, me neither.
But anyways, okay, Carmine, enjoy the rest
Sounds
of your
great,
day, man.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, take care. Okay,
you too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ciao.